Cheap bottle of wine.
So, obviously, this is going to be probably a kind of in your face, punch the ball down your throat kind of game with Duke, the way they've been playing this year.
Yeah, they've got a lot of balance in their offense. They've got an inside running game where they pound you, and they've had some success with, and they've got the perimeter screen game, and then the deep shots and all the things that come off the screen. So, he's a good passer. He's a very accurate, and he's made some good throws, put some ball in some tough spots, and they've got guys that can make big plays. So, it's a well-rounded offense with a lot of balance, and we've got to play well.
I imagine it's tough because they spread you out so much. They split your safeties and then try to get the one-on-one matchups with linebackers so they can beat them.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what people do now. They have that H-back that a guy that can play in the box and be a lead blocker or the kick-out guy on a split zone, and at the same time, a guy that can flex out and is good in space. So, they've got some good weapons and they've done a good job, and we've got our work cut out for us.
When you're facing a right-handed quarterback with those screens, do they have a tendency to maybe go more to their right than to the other, across their body?
They throw them both ways. So much of it, where the ball is on the hash or things like that, and the formations. How many they've got formation? They've got screens to single receivers. They've got screens to 3 receivers. They've got screens to 2 receivers. So they've got a very well-rounded screen game with no real tendencies.
How has practice been trying to defend that and looking at all the different things they have to look at with their eyes?
Well, it's been good. It's a work in progress, but it's been good. Seem to be practicing well, and attention. We've got to get things right between now and next Saturday. But I think that they've been working hard and understanding what it takes with the screens and all the things that come off the screens, especially on the perimeter, because so many of the big plays happen in the perimeter. Then when they spread you out and you start defending the screens in the perimeter, then they get you up the middle with an inside zone or a split zone. So like I said, it's a lot of balance, and you do a good job.
You had some guys banged up going into the bye week. As a couple of days off over the weekend, has that helped at all with some of these guys?
Well, I think that anytime you get a couple of days off, that's a good thing for your body and also for your mind. I think the open week came at a good time to take a day or so and get a fresh perspective and come back rested and ready to go. And so yeah, I think it came at a good time.
Is it a situation where the guys just need some confidence, like maybe a couple series where you get them off the field early, could get things rolling for the defense?
Well, confidence is a very powerful thing, no matter what you're involved in. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. I wouldn't. I can't. I don't know if I'd say that. But a lack of execution at times. Yeah, I'd definitely say that. But we had more confidence. If you're looking for confidence, there was confidence in the beginning of the year, and then. So I don't know.
We're playing tight, maybe another way of putting it.
I think we've got a lot of guys that want to do so well that it's so important to them that sometimes you play where you've got a lot of guys that want to please, that want to do right, that want to help do what they're supposed to do, that it's important to. And there's a fine line between having the attention to detail and being that, and at the same time being able to let it loose. And the great defenses that I've been around, that's what they had. They knew what they were doing, but at the same time, when it came time to cut it loose, you cut it loose, and it's not always perfect by any stretch of the imagination at any place. But just being able to recover and make a play, and knowing that overlapping each other, where you understand the strength and the weakness of the defense, and where your help is, and be able to play off your help. All those things are critical.
With guys like Brand, I guess, like just being able to play instead of, not overthinking things, making sure you're getting in the right place, and just kind of, he seemed like he was doing better when he knew less, almost, in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like that. He's working. He's one of those guys that it's important to him. He wants to do well because it's important to him. And it's important that he performs well because he has such a high level of respect for his teammates that that's important to him. At the same time, we just gotta keep working.
Do you think finding that level of kind of controlled recklessness would help in creating turnovers and just making those impact plays?
Well, you know, the turnovers, you know, usually come from population at the ball or contact with the ball. And, you know, when you get spread out, spread teams, whether it's spread teams or spread option teams, force you into a lot of one-on-one tackling situations. And so you got to be able to tackle in space, and the first guy there has just got to make sure that, you know, he gets him down. But to speak to your point, I think that anytime, you know, you have overlap, you have a better chance to get a takeaway. Yeah.
Do you feel that Pat's style of play has been contagious for the rest of the guys on defense?
I think that Pat Gamble is a steady, reliable guy that we know what we're going to get from Pat day in and day out, and a guy that has earned respect through his through kind of his journey. You know, he's had to earn everything he's gotten, and as a result of that, I think that he has a very high level of respect from his teammates, and so he's earned what he's gotten, and not just his teammates, but his coaches too. We have a high level of respect for that.
I'm curious, regarding the turnovers, I was looking back, when you were at Minnesota, I think that team finished like top 10 or 15 in turnover takeaways, and obviously 14 had a really good year. Is it sometimes just that you happen to have the kind of the right collection of guys that are better able to force turnovers, or is it, I mean, there's just some kind of degree of it's out of your control a bit?
Yeah, you know, Ken, some years are just like that, and some years aren't. And you know, we're not coaching it any less harder than I've coached it wherever I've been. Doing something every day to get it. So, if I had an answer for you, I'd give it to you. And better yet, we'd do it. More importantly, but so to speak to your point, though, yeah, we just got to keep trying. And you know, if you just stay after it, one day it happens, and then one can lead to two can lead to three, and so on and so on and so on. And I think that's what happened in 14. That's what happened in some of the other years where I've been other places. And heck, the last time I was here, I think in '98, we had 7 defensive touchdowns. So you know, just stay after it and keep grinding and keep pounding on the rock, and hopefully one day it breaks.
And because that's not something you can control, the creative turnovers, you can try to affect it. Does it frustrate you, or is it just something you just can't invest yourself in?
Yeah, it frustrates you because it's such a big component of winning and losing. So yeah, it frustrates you, and at the same time, you know, you just got to keep working and stay after, just like anything else. You know, you want to be a good golfer, you got to keep playing golf.
It's not helpful.
Maybe you take 2 years off and quit. Yeah. So.
Probably not aided. You've played 3 guys who were NFL draft picks, probably at quarterback, and 2 running backs at least they're probably not as prone to turn the ball over as say what you saw at Minnesota or whatever.
Yeah, we've played against some good players, but in this league, that's what you get, you know. And so you've got to be able to do what you need to do to win the football games, and certainly creating takeaways is the most critical factor, you know. That and the explosive plays. You know, there's a balance between like Ken asked last week, you know, the balance between the explosive plays and the negative yardage plays. So to do all those things, you just got to, there is no magic potion or magic dust. You just got to keep working, man.
Anything else for Coach Root?